What's up, everybody? This time we're about to get into the 2021 winter anime retrospective. I had all these words in like the wrong order and everything. I did, but you know what I'm doing. You know what we're here for. The title's down there, or up here. You know that you've seen the title. You know what we're doing here. But yeah, so I'm just gonna give my quick thoughts on the shows that I was watching during winter 2021. So we're just gonna hop right into it. So Attack on Titan, the final season, which it seems is maybe part one. I'm still kind of unsure about that, especially since I don't be looking up like mad news about stuff like that. But yeah, Attack on Titan final season um, started off like making me a bit confused and jumped since you know whole time skip and everything, and you're on like in the whole other the enemy side of things, and you're just like, wait, what? But the way they really kind of create that moral gray area uh, by showing you a little bit more of how it is on the Marley side, between the Eldian side, and then like how all these different ideologies and methodologies of war kind of like play out. It's like it was very, very interesting. I think that like the story itself, once it finally started getting going, like once I was like acclimated to, oh, we're in Marley now, and this is like, I think is it 3 years in the future from, well, 3 years after they finally got to really defeat the people who invaded. Um, and so, yeah, all I can say is that it was crazy. There's a lot of drama. It took a bit for it to like really get me, because there's a lot of political stuff in it that you just kind of like you know about from past seasons, but now that you're on the other side, you kind of have to get acclimated to what they're trying to do. So it's just like, oh, so now we're completely learning what they're doing, and then how that affects what's happening back on the Paradise or Paradise um, Island, and then once they're there, how like all the different factions and how they want to handle, going against the rest of Marley, to take back that, and for the lives of the Eldians. It's a lot. It's a lot, and that's why like it's the final season. Like there's a lot of backstory if you're not caught up. It's just gonna be, you can't. There's no way you can just hop in and be like, oh yeah, I get what's going on. It's way too complex. Way too. You have to be in there deep to hop into this season, and yeah, overall, I still think it ended up being pretty good, um, but I definitely still have a bit more to be desired. But it's just because the story isn't finished yet, so I don't know if there's gonna be a part two, if there's gonna be possibly a movie to finally end it. I'm not a manga reader, as you probably already tell, so I have no idea where it's gonna end. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to how this is gonna close out. But there were some good action moments, but a lot more political drama in this than anything. Um, and so to me, this is like one of the seasons, like kind of like part like season 3 part 1, and also parts of season 2 that you would just have to rewatch to really make sure you pick up everything. Yeah. So that's my thought on that. Now, for the next one that's here on the list that I've watched, Promised Neverland Season 2. So, like stated before, I'm not a manga reader. So, I hear it's great, I hear it's fantastic, but it's just not something I do. So, going into this, I heard there's changes while watching week to week, and I was like, I know that I hear there's complaints that things are being missed and cut out, and the pacing is a little quick. But for the most part, they still got me. I'm still cool. Things are fine. And then like the last couple of episodes came, and I was like, okay, I have no idea why it is going this quickly, this fast. Some things are way too convenient, and then they end with a slideshow. Like, no, that's not cool. That's not cool. Biggest disappointment ever. Mother's Basement made a whole video about how how the second season went, and it completely captures everything I feel about it. And he's a manga reader, so he's even more disappointed. But yeah, it was a train wreck. It was fine for about like 9 episodes. The last 3 the first 8 episodes, and then the last 3 were just like, this is what is happening. This is starting to become a hot mess, like too much of a hot mess. But yeah, poor Promised Neverland. You deserved better. Really, really hope it gets a better treatment later. Maybe it can get redone to fit the manga better, since the first season was amazing. But yeah, that's what it is. So moving on. Hortensia. Lovely little romance show. Really focus on, the titular couple. Hori and Miyamura, I think is his full last name. But anyway, all these different little couples, a little bit of love triangles and stuff. Really, really sweet. Nice to see how the relationship formed and how they will try to continue that after high school. It's it was really sweet. That's all I gotta say. A lot of really great characters. All the different connections that they've made with each other are really well done and thought out. And the animation is really pretty, and there's a bit of laughs. There's a bit of real true romance that just makes you go, "Aw." I just thought it was a fantastic little romance anime. So the Dr. Stone Wars I'm currently watching. Because I'm watching on Funimation, so the dub is still going on currently. But so far, I think it's about 5 or 6 episodes in now. So far, it's been pretty good. I think it's cool how they still continue to be a bit educational with like the different science steps and stuff like that, but what's mainly been the draw is just kind of the comedy itself, along with the action, seeing how they make it work out, the conflict, and I'm really curious to see how the big clash is finally gonna turn out. So since that's still airing for me, I'll move on to Mushoku Tensei. Um, this one here was so cool. Really enjoyed it. Like I agree with a lot of other YouTubers who are like saying, "Yo, this is one of the best isekai shows." Like because it really shows how you take um, how Rudius changed, you know, and how his past kind of affects how he behaves in this new world, having like that adult mind in a kid's body, growing up in a world with magic, and seeing how he, even though he is like slightly OP, he's not completely OP, and also there's certain tropes that are in this that you see aren't overly done, and there are still a few questionable things when it comes to his pervertedness, and what it sometimes leads him to do or think, but overall it's still a cool show. The world building that they have in it seems really authentic. I think it's paced extremely well. I do think the switch to how it really became much more adventure-like after a certain event happens was very interesting. I was like, oh, is this show going to completely change the way it's been going? Because it's kind of been like a slow-paced, almost slice of life like show, and now it's like, oh no, we're really getting into some action now. But it's still like halfway through that, so I'm a bit confused at how they ended the season. So I'm just looking forward to more, because like I said before, the world building that they created in this show is really cool. I'm interested to see how everything really all connects in this world to the journey back home, and yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this develops, since third time saying it, not a manga reader or visual novel reader, so I think it's gonna be the last time I mention that, hopefully. Okay, so now on to slime, reincarnated as a slime. So this is another one that I don't think I've finished this yet. Yeah. So watching this dubbed as well, and this isn't completed quite yet. So I've seen a good portion of these, and these episodes, and I think it's been pretty fun. I was just double checking to make sure that I haven't completely finished it. But yeah. What I've seen so far has been kind of cool, and continue to develop this nation. It's also been fun to watch. I got a little bit confused on one of the episodes because I was like, wait, this is something that happened already, I thought, but I guess we went back in time a bit from where the last season ended, to recontextualize some of the things that happened before Rimu stopped teaching the kids. But the action that they've gotten into as a nation in like different pockets of the world have been very interesting. I really enjoyed that, and I'm really still curious of how it will develop, despite a bit of my confusion about what time, like when some of this stuff is taking place. due to that one part of the episode that made me just go, wait, huh? I thought this happened already, but you know, otherwise, I'm still having a lot of fun with the show, and yeah, I still really like the action and the civilization building and how they're trying to work diplomatically with all the different places, so of the world. So yeah, I dig it. Having a fun time with it as that is going down. Stacy Girls, it's going down. Sorry, I had to say it. It was in my brain. Wonder Egg Priority. Whoa, this show, total mind freak. Like, oh my gosh, mind cuffed. Yeah, this show, very, very action and psychological. Like, the action in it is very interesting and fun to watch. Like, the animation is so beautiful, but yet the topics they try and tackle through this is like, whoa. And like when they ended up giving the backstory behind some of the people behind the scenes, it just was like, whoa. So that's kind of what's going on, and this is kind of why it's happening. That's strange and creepy, and wow. So I'm really, really looking forward to see how they completely wrap it up, since they haven't completely tied the bow on the end of this series within the 12 episodes. I hear there's going to be a special OVA to finally finish the story off, so I'm looking forward to that, because so far I think it's been really cool to watch and see how each of the girls deal with their own personal traumas, along with trying to help others with it as well, with their own. But yeah, really enjoyed Wonder Egg Priority. One of my favorites this past season. Another one that I'm currently watching due to Funimation's dubbing schedule, Quintessential Quintuplets. So far, I think I've only seen 3 episodes, and I was surprised at how it started. I didn't expect some of the things to be uncovered about the past and how they're connected before meeting in high school was going to happen so quickly. But I hear that this story is really cute and warm-hearted, and so I'm looking forward to that, because the show has continued to make me laugh. And I just also have to say, Miku is my favorite. So yeah. So moving on, I'll talk about that more when it finishes for me at the end of the spring retrospect. So what I have next to talk to you guys about is Skate the Infinity. Really action oriented shonen sports, and despite the zaniness of it all, like it's meant to be zany, outlandish, fun. It's just all about skateboarding, and it was a really, really fun ride, and all about friendship, doing it together, and despite it being that being so hammy and all, I enjoyed watching it. It was fun seeing how the friendship between Reki and Longa develop and grow, and how they were able to get past some of their differences as well. And yeah, it was fun to see them do crazy downhill jam style action. So yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it. It was a fun show to watch. Kimono Jihen. I really enjoyed this too, like getting to know all the different powers and kind of the really the Japanese folklore of these different creatures and stuff like that, and just see how they try to tackle all the different cases that they're on. It was really fun, especially since the main boy Kabane is like he's just so he's just so straight faced and clueless and takes almost everything at face value. He's almost like putting Drax in an anime, and it's hilarious to me. And I'm talking about Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, it's really fun, and it's interesting to see how each of the cases are solved and what new and types of enemies they're gonna have to deal with. So I'm hoping they continue to make new seasons of it, because they definitely probably still have a whole lot more to explore in the world that they built. Next one I'll talk to you guys about that I saw was the bottom tier character, Tamazaki-kun. Yeah, this show was funny, in my opinion. I thought it was hilarious, and how they tried to tie, being a gamer to treating life like a game, and how that can help and how it can hurt as well. I still feel it's a bit of like propaganda to be like, hey gamers, stop wasting your life gaming. I do feel like there's still a bit of that message in there, but other than that, it was still like really fun, and see how the relationship between all the characters develop, and how he continues to grow as a person with the different missions that he's given to help him succeed in the game of life. I thought it was fun. It was a really fun show to watch. Log Horizon. I did finish this. Log Horizon, season 3. I was very happy to be able to be around for like an actual airing season of Log Horizon, since I had to watch Log Horizon post release, and so it was fun to be able to watch from week to week, like, oh yeah, I could be watching with everybody else. It's not something I have to catch up on. And I thought that the different storylines that they ended up going through on this was pretty cool. I do wish that they got to do a little bit more different little arcs, but overall it was a decent season. Some of it I do feel is like almost like filler arc, but it was still fun. The world that they've built and seeing how things are changing the longer that they stay in the game is very interesting, and so that aspect is something that I enjoyed, and hope to see how they figure out getting back to the real world. Yeah. So suppose someone from the last town boonies, the last dungeon boonies, comes to a starter town or whatever it's called. Light novel titles. This show was just stupid. It was stupid fun, and I enjoyed all the ridiculousness of it, because Bro is just mad overpowered and still thinks he's mad weak, and he's definitely not. Like Lloyd like do so much damage and ends up solving so many different issues and in unorthodox ways. It was just fun. I enjoyed the zany um, nature of, you know, kind of like the parody of, you know, video game worlds. Enjoyed it. Um, let's see, what else on here do I have? Other Side Picnic is a show I had to end up dropping. It was very interesting at first, but eventually it got to a point where it just kind of got bored, and so I think I'll have to return to it because I think there's potential in the show. I just couldn't. I just figured maybe it'll be best to just binge later instead of, you know, going week to week with it. So I'll return to it. But like the first, what was it? I think I got to like 5 episodes. I was like, this is interesting. Like all the different, because I like, once again, I really enjoy learning about different things in Japanese folklore and urban myths and stuff that they bring into these these different anime shows, and learning about them through like those means. But it also moved a bit slow, so maybe just trying to binge it all to get through it would be better. Next show, let's see, because I think we're getting close to where I have to talk about the next season. Hortensia Saga is another one I ended up dropping. I think I only got about 4 or 5 episodes into that one as well, and I just ended up kind of giving up on it. I do like some fantasy kind of shows, but it was also just a little underwhelming. So I was just like, yeah, no. Is there anything else? I don't think there's going to be anything else. I did try to start watching Sorcerer Stabber season 2 or whatever, and then I was like, yeah, never mind. Like, I even remember not even like fully enjoying the first season of the remake or whatever. But I was like, well, since I went ahead and watched all of that, maybe I can endure watching the second season. And all of a sudden, like, Black Clover has still continued to be really good. Even though it just seems like a bunch of filler arcs put all together, I still enjoy them pretty much. And, you know, them dealing with the devil banishers / worshippers thing was interesting. The Yashahime season wrapped up. I thought that was really fun. It's really just, you know, Inuyasha 2.0, and I liked Inuyasha quite a bit. Like a fun action show that is somewhat suitable, somewhat tamed a bit for a young audience, and so I enjoyed it. But, you know, the only thing that's different, I feel, from Inuyasha and Yashahime is that there's definitely no romantic subplot at all. So that's kind of missing. But I still enjoy the action and it and the characters. I like the character relationships in it. Yeah. Maybe now I finally got to the end. Because I had to get to the ongoing anime. Yeah. So, that's kind of what I thought about winter 2021. Now, for spring 2021, what I'm watching currently, I'm watching the My Hero Academia, and so far that's starting off pretty cool. Also watching Mars Red, which is very interesting. I'm very curious to see how it's going to continue to develop as they deal with the different vampire cases. Let's see. What else? We got the final season of Fruits Basket that started, which has also still been freaking phenomenal. Um, let's see. What else do we have that I'm currently watching? Vivi, Fluorite Eyes song is so freaking cool. Um, is it 4 episodes in now? I think it's 4 episodes in now, and there's still something I question about in episode 4 that made me go, wait, which one is, which one is, who's the sister? People who are up to date with me know what I'm talking about. It's like, wait, which one is the, which one's the, now I'm confused. Like, what happened to this person at the very end of this? I feel like I'm missing, like something's not being accounted for at this ending of this mission. But yeah, that show is really, really cool so far. I'm enjoying it. Nomad Megalobox 2 has been very interesting, a little bit more dramatic than the first Megalobox, which I had to binge before watching this season. Yeah, so far it's really, really cool. And interesting to see how they're going to deal with whole discrimination and everything. Yeah. SSSS. Yep. Dyna Xenon is more Gridman awesomeness. Very quirky and interesting action, and seeing how this is going to develop, because it seems like they're really trying to, even though it is the Gridman universe, it seems like the circumstances of the whole situation are completely different. So I'm curious how the two different teams will continue to face off, and how just really kind of discover how the kaiju are even really a thing in this season. So yeah. What else? Ooh, The World Ends With You, the animation. Enjoying this so far too. Happy to finally be able to see kind of like what the storyline is with this. Being a Kingdom Hearts fan, I knew got introduced somewhat to the idea of this game this game, I guess, because they were like the characters were featured in Dream Drop Distance, and so I was like, oh, so I know it's a thing. I have no idea anything else about it. So it's finally cool to be able to see the story behind the game, if this stays true to the storyline of the game. It's pretty interesting, and I'm hoping it continues to be so. Anything else that I'm watching? I was gonna watch the dragon getting a home, but then I was like, yeah, this is just a little too goofy, so I dropped it already. Blue Reflection Ray has been very interesting. Another kind of magical girl kind of show. Really curious to see how it will develop. Another one I'm watching. Let's see. There's another one that I'm watching that they didn't mention here that I can't think of the title. Oh, Combatants will be dispatched. Mad ridiculous show. But I love the comedy in it, so I'm enjoying that. But if it gets a teensy bit more, if it just gets a teensy bit more ridiculous, I might have to drop it and be like, okay, it's jump the shark. I'm not with it anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm watching now, and my thoughts on the past season of anime. And I'm slowly trying to catch up on some of the stuff that I can only watch. Well, technically I can't only watch it dubbed, but the ones I'm watching dubbed, it brings me a season behind, but it's okay. We'll get through them. But yeah, tell me what you guys thought of any of these shows or what you're watching currently. And yeah, until next time, much love, peace.